Okay, so for this question on trigo graph, you are not required to draw. They gave you the coordinates and you are expected to find the unknown ABC. So before we go and find the unknown, okay, so let's do a recap first. So what does each of the algebra represent? So A represent the amplitude. Then B, actually B will be responsible to tell you the period. So the formula for period depends on B. C is the shifting of the graph, whether a graph is being shifted up or down. How many units is being shifted up or down? Okay, so I will be showing you my method and I will also be showing you the alternative method. Okay, so for the first one, they ask you to show C is equal to -3. So C is actually the shifting. So actually it's quite obvious that there is a shifting down because a sine graph will be something like this. So it's quite obvious that it will be a shifting down. So how are you supposed to show that it's going to be a -3? So I think for me, I did it by calculation. And at the same time, when I solve for C, I also solve for A. I make use of the limited function of sine. Any sine function will be limited by 1 and -1. Okay, so if you forgot that, right, then why is that so? Because if you draw any sine graph, it will be limited by 1 and -1. So I will multiply by A on both sides. Then I will try to add C on both sides. So I multiply by A on both sides. I add C on both sides. So eventually, I will get the maximum value. So this is the maximum value. And the maximum value is a 2. And this is the minimum value. The minimum value is a -8. So in a way, it becomes a simultaneous for me to solve. So while I solve the simultaneous, I will show what the question wants me to show. And in fact, I can also find the amplitude at the same time. So which is what we'll need at the last part. Okay, and then to explain why B is equal to 4, you will need to be able to tell that this is a period. So this is a cycle. The whole cycle took up pi over 2. That means if you have applied this formula, it will be a pi over 2. So this is from formula. And then the period that I got is from the diagram. So I will equate the formula and whatever period I get from the diagram, make them equal, then you can cross multiply. Then that's how you get B equal to 4. So that one is quite outright. Then from there, because you already gotten your ABC, that will just be the equation of the curve. Okay, so alternatively, is there any other method? Usually there will be students who will do this. So some students will observe that the highest is 2, the lowest is -8. So this whole thing is like 10 units. So from the 10 unit, we will know that the amplitude will be 10 units divided by 2. So that's why A will be equal to 5. Okay, so some students will get the amplitude first, and then they will imagine. Then you will imagine. That means if the amplitude has been a 5, then the highest will be a 5, the lowest will be a -5. Yet my highest is not a 5. My highest is a 2. So from here, we can see that there's a shift down of 3 units. So that's why C is equal to -2. Okay, so some people will do it this way. So this is the calculation way. So for some people, when you try to do it this way, maybe you feel a bit insecure, like you don't know what working to show. So you can show something like C is equal to so 2 minus 5. So that's how you get your C. The more direct way will be doing this method. So if you feel more secure with the calculation method like the one that I'm doing, right, it can be done as well. Okay, so that will be the trigo graph. If you're not asked to draw, then you must be able to go backwards and state the feature. Okay. I don't see the need to do a dy dx equal to 0. Okay. So some students, right, when they see maximum minimum, they might do dy dx equal to 0, but it will not be helpful in this case. So here we'll just do simple investigation of the period, of the shifting down, of the amplitude.